What's good, y'all? Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Thank you for joining me today. Greatly appreciate it. I feel good, look good. Your boy got the retwist, the fresh cut, look like a normal human again. But anyways, as always, regardless if I look like a human or not look like a human, thank you guys for tuning in. Always appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button. Stay up to date with all of my future Teachable Tuesdays content. Today, we are going to hop into a discussion that I often get asked a lot. And I've talked about this briefly on the channel before, but I never had like a full-blown discussion about it. And it is, what should you do if someone breaks up with you? Now, this is a tough topic for some people because for some people, breakups are a very touchy subject. Some of you guys may have recently broken up with someone, or, as the title suggests, you've been broken up with someone, right? Maybe things were going great, and then out of nowhere, they hit you with the left face with the, I'm not really feeling that. I think it's time to move on. Or maybe you slowly but surely saw it coming, and you didn't realize that it was really going to end as bad as it did, or you did realize it was going to end as bad as it did, and it was only a matter of time, and you were just hoping by some slim chance that maybe it wouldn't. Well, I'm going to give you some things that you should do after breakup, how you should handle it, and also some things that you should not do. And I'll give you three of each. 3 things that you should do after a breakup, 3 things that you should not do after a breakup. So we're going to start with the do's before we get into the don'ts. So number 1, what should you do after a breakup? Well, number 1, go no contact. If somebody breaks up with you, go no contact. Don't contact them. Don't text them. Don't call them. Don't reach out to them. If they want to break up with you, it is what it is. It's nothing you can do about it. It's going to be what it's going to be. It's time for you to start the healing process so that way you can properly move on to, take some time to work on yourself and just let bygones be bygones. I mean, unfortunately, that's all you can do when it comes to a breakup. You know what I'm saying? Number 2, I'd say the second thing that you should do is continue to build on who you are as an individual, right? I always tell people that no matter if you're in a relationship or you're single, married, whatever the case may be, you should always be working to improve yourself, right? And now is even more time than ever that you can work on improving yourself, because here's the thing. When you're in a relationship, you are having dedicated time towards that individual, right? I don't care what you say, especially for my fellas. I'm going to talk to my fellas for a second, because we're about being on our purpose, right? But at the same time, that when you have a woman, you're going to have to dedicate some time to her. Well, guess what? When you're single, fellas and my ladies, you now have more time for yourself. So that's more time that you can use to improve. Self-improvement is important regardless if you're in a relationship or not. But if you are single, oh yeah, it's time to get to the grind. So yeah, get back to the grind, or get back double, triple times the grind than where you were at before. Another thing that you should do is you should, I would say, well, maybe this could be a dope, but I'm going to say it as a do. Do be respectful of the person's standpoint, right? Don't go bashing them on the mouth. I said bashing them on the mouth, Lord help me. Bashing them at the mouth and so on and so forth. But do respect their decision. It may suck, it may hurt, but at the end of the day, you care about that person. So let it be what it's going to be and move on. So those are my 3 do's as far as if a person breaks up with you. Now, here are my 3 don'ts. Number 1, don't accept the we can be friends notion. Now, you'll hear ladies say this more than fellas with the we can still be friends, but some fellas say it too. We can't be friends. I'm sorry. I'm a firm believer that once you've crossed that boundary with a significant other, there is absolutely no going back. I know people don't like to admit that. You feel like you're cool with that person. You're like, well, maybe it could be friends. Maybe, maybe you were friends before you started dating that person. And I mean, that's perfectly fine, because truth be told, sometimes the best romantic relationships come from things that start off as a friendship. However, you have crossed that boundary. I can say without the shadow of a doubt, I'm not friends with any of my exes. And there's nothing personal, no hard feelings at all. But it's just simply that we crossed the line, and once you cross that line, there is no going back. Some people will say, "Oh, you can still be friends as long as you haven't been physically intimate." Trust me, there's been plenty of women that I have not been physically intimate with, and we were in a relationship, and I still consider that crossing a boundary because at one point in time, I saw a future with you. And I'm not going to want to imagine me seeing you having a future with somebody else. Although that is the reality if things don't work out with us. But yeah, so don't accept the friendship. Not just be respectful, of course, but move on. Number 2, don't go to social media and don't be spiteful. This is very, very important. I can't stress this enough. And I'm guilty for having done that in the past. Don't do what I did. And the reason why I say that is extremely important for you not to do that is because you don't want to make yourself look bad, okay? Even if the person, let's say God forbid the person cheated on you, right? Or just like broke up with you out of nowhere. Like I'll give you a quick story. And I think I might talk this on the channel before. But I had an ex from 2 years ago. I want to say 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. Things seem to be going great. Everything seemed to be going fine. I went to Miami because I had a performance with my boys, the Innovators Music Group. Came back. I hadn't heard from her in 3 days. I was texting her. I even tried to call her. We were supposed to go to church together. Didn't happen. And then out of nowhere, she sends me a message on the 4th day basically saying, "Hey, I'm breaking up with you." After not really hearing from you from about 3 or 4 days. So in spite of that, I didn't go to social media. I didn't badmouth her. I was extremely disappointed about what took place. But it was what it was. And you know what I'm saying? Handle it with dignity. Handle it with honor. Handle it with the understanding of if they break up with me, that's their loss. Especially if you were on the side where you didn't do anything wrong. Now, obviously, if you were the wrongdoer, then, that's a different story. You got some self-reflection to do. But if you were the one in the right, then just wash your hands with it and move on. And that leads me actually to point number 3. Don't be asking a whole bunch of questions as to, well, why and this and that and so on and so forth. I get it now. Just hear me out on this, right? Because I know some of you guys might disagree. We all want closure. We all want to be in that space to where it's like, I just want to know why. I got to know why. I got to figure it out. And going back to the story that I gave, I started asking questions when she sent that text message. I started asking why, and she explained. And after that, I was like, wait, why am I asking questions? So my next message after that was, you know what? Because I was supposed to get something from her. And I told her, hey, you know what? Scratch that. It's all good. I wish you all the best. Take care. Didn't hear from her after that. Never heard from her. Never saw her again. And it kind of hurt at the time because I did want closure. I mean, I did kind of get closure, but it was kind of like, dang. And sometimes you're going to want closure with some individuals, but sometimes, especially, again, if it's not like your fault that you guys broke up, it's just best to just let it go. I know some of y'all, especially my ladies, I know, y'all want closure with the fellas. Like, well, why did you break up with me? Or, what did I do wrong? And guys be asking the same thing sometimes too. But it doesn't matter. The fact is they no longer want you. And the best thing you can do for your self-dignity is to just move on. Is that job going to hurt? Yeah. Is it going to feel uncomfortable? Yeah. Is it going to probably break your heart? Yeah. But the sooner that you move forward and move forward correctly, the better chances that you'll have of starting that process as quick as you need to get over that individual. Let me give you a bonus one. Do not jump into a relationship immediately after the breakup, okay? Please give yourself some time. I recommend after, depending on how long the relationship was, give yourself at least minimum 6 months before you put yourself back on that dating market. All right? I know some people have a hard time staying single. I used to be one of those individuals. But it's not worth it to put yourself on the dating market so soon, knowing that you still have feelings for this person, knowing that it hurts and you need to take some time to heal. knowing that you are just not going to be a good fit for anybody until you learn how to be by yourself again, right? Again, not saying breakups are always your fault. Sometimes they're not. But you have to make sure that you are making the right decision to help better increase your chances in the future for the person that you truly desire. All right? It's Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Thank you for joining me today. As always, please hit the like button, subscribe button, and I'll catch you soon. Peace.